Welcome back to Motor Madness Monster Jam here on TNN. Hi everyone, I'm Jackson Morris, Ryan Zielsdorf alongside, and we are here for the first ever event for the 1999 season. Ryan, we have 8 amazing trucks ready to do battle. We have a tough course here tonight and 0 room for error. What will these drivers have to do to conquer this unique track here tonight in Seattle?
For sure, Jackson. I believe that 8 wonderful athletes are going to have to remain calm, cool, and collected all night long and stay consistent when navigating this track.
It is time for a full-on field of trucks. Dennis Anderson is not here tonight. Replacing him is Pablo Huffaker in Gravedigger number 10.
New rides for the 1999 season. Tom Meents will be driving the new and improved custom bull concept, the Bulldozer.
Tony Farrell also debuting a new design for Wild Thing, this time with the beautiful purple rims and stripe down the side. Here is the results from qualifying. Dan Patrick Sampson is your top qualifier with a 4.32 seconds, followed closely by Brian Womack's Barefoot and Tony Farrell's Wild Thing. This should be an interesting night of racing.
Well, speaking of racing, tonight's bracket is action-packed. On the left side of the bracket, the fastest qualifier, Dan Patrick and Sampson, takes on Jim Kohler and Avenger, followed by Mark Hall and Executioner, and Pablo Huffaker and Gravedigger.
On the right side of the bracket, Tony Farrell in Wild Thing takes on Ron Nelson in Bustin' Loose, and the rookie with a ton of talent and promise, Tom Meents in Bulldozer, takes on Brian Womack in Barefoot. Pulling up to the line first in round number 1 is Jim Kohler in Avenger, taking on Dan Patrick in Sampson. And Ryan, what an amazing 1998 season for Dan Patrick and Sampson. There's the green light. Whole shot to Sampson. Gonna be Dan Patrick and Sampson moving on.
Pulling to the line, it's Mark Hall and Executioner. And in the opposing lane, it is Pablo Huffaker in Gravedigger.
There's the green light. I think the whole shot went to Pablo and Gravedigger. Gravedigger moves on to the next round. Up next is Ron Nelson in Bustin' Loose. What an amazing piece of machinery Ron Nelson has. And he will be taking on the all-new design for 99, Tony Farrell in the Wild Thing. There's the green light. Oh! Bit squirrely for Tony Farrell in Wild Thing, but it's gonna be Tony Farrell, and look at that! What an amazing little save at the end there for Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose, getting it up on 2 wheels. I think he hit what the Pro Stadium trucks hit.
Tom Meents in Bulldozer pulls to the line, and he will be facing Brian Womack in Barefoot.
Light goes green, a whole shot to Bulldozer, and he is all over the place. Look at that. Oh, and Tom Meents goes over. Oh, wow. What a finish. And Brian Womack in Barefoot, I mean, he just had an amazing pass. He left a little late off the line, but Tom Meents just couldn't keep a handle of this new Bulldozer truck. We move on to the semifinals as Sampson will now take on Gravedigger and Wild Thing will take on Barefoot. Here's the semifinals. First race is Dan Patrick in Sampson. A beautiful pass in round number 1. And he had the fastest time out of everyone. But he has to face Pablo Huffaker in Gravedigger number 10. Both trucks are staged, and there's the green light. Oh, and Pablo misses the cars. That is going to hurt him. And he's rolling over too. Man, this track is tripping all of these drivers up, Ryan. And Dan is just amazing. I mean, he is hammering on the throttle there. And Pablo, I mean, he just drifted off to the side there and just couldn't keep it on all fours.
In the semi-final round, pulling to the line, it's Tony Farrell in Wild Thing. And in the opposing lane, it's Brian Womack in barefoot. And he looked great in the previous round.
Whole shot to barefoot. It's going to be Brian Womack moving on to the final round of racing. And Tony gets a little bit close to the wall there.
It's down to the wire. These two are hungry for a victory. Dan Patrick and Samson will take on Brian Womack in barefoot. This is going to be wild.
The final round here tonight in Seattle 1999. The first start for the 1999 season. Dan Patrick in Samson, your fastest qualifier, against the second fastest, Brian Womack in barefoot. There's the green light. Dan Patrick looks to have the lead. And what a race. It's going to be Dan Patrick in Samson taking the racing win here tonight in Seattle. And he is chucking some celebratory cyclones. What an amazing... I mean, he was just super smooth all night long in that last pass, Ryan. He was just unreal. Had the whole shot as soon as the green light hit. And then he just floored it to the finish line. That was unbelievable. Congratulations to Dan Patrick in Samson. Wow, Ryan, the racing here in Seattle has been incredible. Dan Patrick had a tough matchup in the last two rounds, but he was able to capitalize on their errors and take the win. What an amazing job by tonight's racing winner, Dan Patrick in Samson.
Coming up next, the superstars of Motor Madness Monster Jam are about to battle it out in freestyle. Don't go away. Welcome back to Motor Madness Monster Jam here on TNN. Tonight, we will crown a freestyle winner. And Jackson, this is new to the 1999 season. How will this new competition affect Motor Madness Monster Jam as we know it?
I think it will be incredible to see these drivers put their skills to the test. It is going to be amazing to see what these drivers can do. So without further ado, let's get into our first freestyle for tonight. Coming out first for freestyle is Jim Kohler in Avenger. And he was pretty amazing to watch in the 98 season. Coming out for freestyle, gets a little slap wheelie. And Ryan, I think these drivers are going to have to fill the entire clock, but also get the wow factor in to take the win here tonight.
I agree. They got to fill the 90 seconds. They got to wow the fans, and they got to take care of the whole track.
You got to cover every inch of the floor, which is kind of what Jim Kohler seems to be doing. Gets a little bit caught up on those rollers there, what we use for the Pro Stadium trucks. 50 seconds left on the clock. This is amazing to see these drivers cutting the course. So not used to this. We've said this. We cannot say anymore how awesome it is and how new this is. Almost got caught up there by that other jump. This beautiful Avenger piece coming out. Jim takes pride in his truck. He's going back for the jumps that the Pro Stadium trucks hit. Goes for the cars. This has been pretty good, Ryan. I think this is a good first freestyle. Not just for Seattle, but I think to set the precedent for what freestyle will become in the future.
Fills the time, but he's still going. Jim Kohler giving the fans what they want to see.
This is just extra for the fans. This will not be counted towards the scores, and Jim Kohler looks like he's over on his lid. What a run. What a first freestyle. That was unbelievable. Let's take a look at the highlights here. Had a nice little slap wheelie to start it off. Nice little air over the cars there. Almost got a bit cattywampus there coming over those rollers. And then this was his demise here, and luckily this wasn't when the scores were being conducted. He hit that set of cars very crooked, and then he just rolled it over on his lid. Scores are coming in for Avenger. It's a 15. Scores will be out of 30, but not a bad score to start off Freestyle.
Pulling onto the track now for the second freestyle of the night, it's Tom Menson Bulldozer. Excited to see what he can bring to the table.
He's been driving for Paul Shaffer's Monster Patrol for quite some time. And now the USHRA decided this new kid needs a new ride for 99. Nice little, whoa, almost gets a bit caught up there. But yeah, they decided to put Tom in this truck, and we're excited to see, or I am excited to see what he can do.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited, Jackson.
He had a lot of promise in 98, but he didn't get as much seat time as I think he will for 99. You know, he was driving Paul Shaffer's Monster Patrol. Look at the wheel stand. Almost drove it up the cars there. Beautiful job by Tom Mentz in Bulldozer. And Ryan, we have a lot of awesome things that these TNN Motor Madness fans, both in attendance and watching from home, are going to absolutely love. We've got, of course, the addition of Freestyle. We're going to have a World Finals. That's right, the first ever World Finals in St. Louis. And Tom Mentz is on 2 wheels. And he is going over. Can he save it? Oh, man. And he rolls it over. He does not fill the clock. Wow, that was unbelievable.
What a wild ride.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Started off with a beautiful wheelie, and then this was awesome. He got the slap wheelie, and he drove it over that other jump that it was here just for freestyle, and then he drove it also over that car, the racing lane with the cars there. That was unbelievable. Then had another beautiful wheelie, and then this here is what was his demise. He spun that truck around. He kept it up on 2 wheels. He crab walked it all the way down. And then this here was his demise. He almost had it, Ryan, but he couldn't save it. What a run. What a second. Wow. I'm in shock.
And the score for Tom Menson Bulldozer is going to be a 20 as he takes the lead from Jim Kohler and Avenger.
Coming out onto the track next is well, he's only been in the sport for around 2 years or so, but Mark Hall has just been so impressive in this executioner machine. Time starts now. Last year in 98, he had some fantastic, I think he won racing here last year in Seattle, which was an amazing night of racing. But Mark Hall has just been, you know, he's only been here in the sport for 2 years, and he drives like a veteran, he acts like a veteran, and his truck is just in tip-top shape. I have never seen Mark Hall and his executioner machine not ready and not dialed in to do battle.
Kind of taking it a little easy right now, I think.
I think he's getting used to this. You know, a lot of drivers, especially these older guys out here, you know, they're not used to doing this. Most of the people that have done this, you know, and you know, what they have been doing, beautiful slap wheelie. But yeah, most of the drivers that have been doing this as like an encore. This is for scores. This is for points in this series. Of course, we are carrying over the point series tonight. Beautiful sky wheelie, nicely done. As time expires, and he's up on 2 wheels again. Look at that, dragging it. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my, unbelievable. And he sets it back on all fours. Wow. Unbelievable. Talk about the wow factor. And that was after the scores. Give it up for Mark Hall in Executioner. Let's take a look at the highlights from this absolutely jaw-dropping freestyle. He took it a little bit slow, but he had some great moments. There was this wheelie that he dragged all the way across the floor. Look at that. That was unbelievable. He had some great momentum near the end of the run and a beautiful sky wheelie there. And then, Ryan, there was this. Wow. That's all I have to say. He crab walked it pretty much from one end of the kingdom to the other.
The fans will have to keep in mind, though, that all of that was after the time.
Exactly. We will not be counting anything past the 90 seconds. And scores are coming in, and wow, Executioner blows into the lead. I'm not sure if we're going by the rules that we have set, that this is fair, but nonetheless, the scores are coming in. It's a 28 for Executioner. He blows into the lead. What a freestyle run, though.
Coming out next in freestyle, it's Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose. Beautiful truck. I love this truck, Jackson.
It is a amazing piece of machinery, and 98 was a great season for Bustin' Loose. He had a great win in West Lebanon. And that is a beautiful speedway. Almost gets it up on two wheels, and he sets it down. Nicely done. He is going for...
Great way to start the run.
He is going for Executioner. He's up on two wheels, and he sets it down once again. He really is going for Mark Hall in the Executioner, but he's driving a little bit slow. There we go. He's picking up the pace just a little bit. A very fantastic competitor. He is going to want to be at the St. Louis World Finals that we are hosting this year in March. It's going to be a very first. I think we have 12 trucks lined up for that. That is going to be amazing. He lined up for those cars, but he didn't hit them square, and that's something I think that will make freestyle interesting, is most of these drivers are going to be lining up for ramps pretty square, you know, square on, but I think it's going to be interesting to see people hit it from different angles. And a beautiful wheelie there from Bustin' Loose. 7 seconds remain. Ryan, do you think that this run deserves the lead over Mark Hall and Executioner?
I definitely think the flow of this run could be a little improved, but other than that, fans are getting what they want. Oh my goodness, getting a little out of hand here after the time.
What a save! These drivers are going nuts. This is the first time that they have done something like this, and they are making it look like that they have done this for years. What a freestyle from Bustin' Loose. This is just for you, Motor Madness Monster Jam fans sitting in at home.
He's still going.
This is just absolutely nuts. He is burning it down here in Seattle. He's trying to hike it up on two wheels. And he's going for the cars. Beautiful wheelie. Unreal performance by Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose. And he's over. That is going to do it. What a freestyle. That was unbelievable. Let's take a look at the highlights. Beautiful wheelie to start off with. That was, I mean, the level of control that Ron has. And then in the last 15 seconds, you got a beautiful slap wheelie. And then the wow moment, which came after the time, was this. this amazing save where he had it up on the 2 front tires. That was unbelievable. Look at this. He hiked it up over the starting cars where racing was conducted. And then he just let it roll back down. What a run from Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose. And then he kept going after the time just for you Motor Madness Monster Jam fans. Ryan, that was an amazing run. Absolutely jaw-dropping.
And the score for Bustin' Loose is a 22, good enough for second place.
And coming out onto the floor next is one of my favorite trucks. Not just in the field here tonight, but in Motor Madness Monster Jam is the Wild Thing, the brand new design. Look at those purple shocks, those purple accents and details. Just unreal. Beautiful truck. Whoa, up on 2 wheels. Nicely done. This truck is a custom concept body. We're starting to see a lot more of those coming into the 1999 season. We started seeing it last year. Of course, Bulldozer is one of the newest concepts, and Tony debuted this in 97, and he's been driving it since, and it is just an amazing piece of machinery.
Tony is really carrying flow in his run with 30 seconds remaining.
He is. He's driving the truck like he would for racing, and he goes over and saves it.
Yeah!
What a save. And Ryan, that was during the time, so this will count. Executioner and Bustin' Loose had 2 great saves, but they were after time. So this is going to give Tony Farrell some bonus points because this was counted during the time. And that
Very
is
valid point.
And that is what the fans want, and he's hiking it up on 2 wheels again. Time is up for Tony Farrell, but he doesn't care if time is up. He's still going to give these Motor Madness fans a freestyle to watch, and he's over he goes.
Whoa!
Wow, these drivers are hiking it up, though. The concrete, I think, is messing them up a little. Let's take a look at the highlights. Started it off with a beautiful wheelie. And then this was kind of one move that led into the other. You get a beautiful slap wheelie and then hit the rollers there and just let it roll onto those tires. That was an amazing move. And as we said before, that is going to count for count during the scoring process. And then he got a nice little wheelie, which he almost rolled it over again, but he kept it going. He hiked it up yet again during the end of the run. I'd say this was a pretty impressive run for Tony Farrell and Wild Thang. Scores are coming in for Tony Farrell and Wild Thang. It's a 24. He does not take the lead from Executioner. Mark Hall still sitting in the hot seat.
Pulling onto the track now, it's Dan Patrick and Sampson, your racing winner and your fastest qualifier.
Incredible performance during racing tonight. Amazing sky wheelie to start things off. Dan runs a unique setup compared to the other trucks. And I don't know if that's an advantage, Ryan. You know, we saw a couple of times last season. You know, sometimes he had the advantage over others, but other times he didn't. So, really interesting to see if during tonight in freestyle. Oh, hikes it up again. Wow. They are really hiking these trucks up when they go from the dirt to the concrete. But it'll be interesting to see if this setup will either aid him during freestyle or it won't aid him. So, I don't know. 34 seconds left. A little bit of time left on the clock. He's
Gotta have that wow moment.
He does have some good momentum, though. He does. He's hitting these jumps with some impressive speed. But as you said, Ryan, he doesn't have the wow moment just yet. My goodness. I can't believe the amount of action that's happened already. And the clock is done. This is the last move. And what a last move! He drags the wheelie all the way down from one side of the track to the other. And he's going to do some amazing donuts. Nicely done from Dan, Patrick, and Samson. And he's still giving the fans more. Going back for that jump. He seems to like it a lot. And nice! Oh my goodness. He almost rolled it over there. He is still going, Ryan. This is unbelievable.
Giving the fans what they want to see.
And considering the fact that these drives aren't getting scored, the fact that they really care this much about their fans and that they get a good show, that they are willing to do more, I mean, it's unbelievable.
And you know Dan's out there having a blast.
He is having a blast. Look at that. Save it. Ah.
Oh.
But that was after the time, so it's not going to hurt him too much. But Ryan, what a run from Dan, Patrick, and Samson. Let's take a look at the highlights. Started off with an amazing sky wheelie. Had some pretty good air over the cars there. And again, I brought this up a couple of times. These drivers are getting hiked up when they go from the dirt to the concrete and then back on. But he was able to save it. Beautiful job from Dan, Patrick, and Samson. He had the momentum. He filled the time. But Ryan, I don't know if it's going to take the lead from Executioner.
His wow moment came after the time.
Although I would say this is a pretty good wow factor. Look at this. He just dragged it from one end of the course to the other. And then he almost did the same thing the other way, where he drove it over the ramps that the Pro Stadium trucks hit. And then this Ryan, at the end of his run, was the demise. He hit those cars. He got a little bit squirrely. And then he tried to save it, but he couldn't save it. That was an amazing freestyle.
And the score for Dan, Patrick, and Samson is going to be a 26. Good enough for second place.
Coming out onto the floor next, a driver that I think is going to be a contender for freestyle here tonight is Brian Womack in Barefoot. And he did do some encore freestyle runs last year. He's just an amazing competitor.
With a beautiful truck.
An absolutely beautiful truck. The Dodge Ram sponsored Barefoot.
He has great floor coverage right now. Got to keep it up.
And he's going to, he's going to bring the momentum. Look at the air. Woo! And he smacks into the wall. I think the officials have shut him off. He's coming back. The time has been paused up until he hits his next jump, which he just did. He's had a pretty good run so far, but he needs to get the wow factor in. Almost got it a bit cattywampus there. I think he tried to hike it up again. Pretty good run so far from Barefoot. He's
definitely been getting the biggest air of the night.
Absolutely. And he seems to be, these drives, they seem to be filling the 1 minute 30 minutes of allocated time pretty easily. So maybe when it comes to 2000, the new millennium, which I cannot wait for, where he's driving in reverse. Wow. I mean,
that is something unique we have not seen yet.
It may not have been wow in the sense that it was jaw-dropping, but like you said, that was unique. Oh, man, he's getting caught up. Can he save it? Oh, over he goes. What a run from Barefoot and Brian Womack. Let's take a look at the highlights. He had some great air over the cars there. And he goes over the freestyle hill right there. That was beautiful. And then this here, I think, hurt his freestyle run a little bit. But he got some amazing air over that freestyle jump. And he smacked it into the wall. But in fairness, though, they did stop the clock and let him hit another jump. And then Brian, he went for, I think, what the Pro Stadium trucks hit. But then he had the sense of mind to back it up and hit that jump there, which was surprising and unique, which I think was the last move for time. So I think that will count. But this was his demise here. He hit the car stack and he couldn't save it. What a run from Brian Womack in Barefoot.
And the score for Brian Womack in Barefoot is going to be a 25. Good enough for third place. Coming out last, it's Pablo Huffaker in that bad to the bone Gravedigger machine.
A beautiful looking truck. And is he going over already? Wow, what a save. And that was at the start. Pablo had a fantastic 98 season. And he was, Dennis gave him the call and he said, hey, I'm supposed to be at Seattle. I can't make it. And Pablo was like, I'll fill in for you. And he did, Ryan, did he just hit the cars side on? No one else in the field has done that.
Again, uniqueness is going to win you runs. We saw that with Barefoot. The scores reflected, and Pablo's already got that amazing save. You got to think if you fill the time here, that you may win this whole thing.
He is going off, Pablo Huffaker. And he lines up for it again. Nice slap wheelie. Oh, no. Can he save it? Ah, and he leaves 30 seconds left on the clock. It was short, but it was sweet, Ryan.
That'll be interesting with the scores to see how they reflect.
Let's take a look at the highlights. I mean, Ryan, this was his first hit. A sky wheelie over the cars. He almost rolled it over, and he let it go. He let it slap back down. That was unreal.
And he bounced it on the front two wheels, and that's insane to see from these 12,000-pound monster trucks.
And then he hit the cars crooked and then reversed over that Pro Stadium truck hill in reverse. Crooked as well, may I add. And then he got a beautiful slap wheelie over the more Pro Stadium truck dirt mounds there, the rollers. And then this was his demise here. He went for the cars crooked once again. And then got an amazing wheelie, which unfortunately was the demise of his run. What a freestyle, but Ryan, he didn't fill time. But in my opinion, some of the other runs have been a little bit underscored. So I don't know if Pablo is going to take the win here tonight. What do you think?
I don't know, Jackson. It'll be interesting to see because he had the best wow moments of the night, but he came up with 30 seconds left in his time, so we'll see what the judges thought in their minds.
And the scores are coming in for Pablo Huffaker in Gravedigger is going to be a 30, a perfect 30. Wow, your freestyle winner in Seattle is Gravedigger number 10, Pablo Huffaker. What a freestyle competition and what an event. 8 drivers put on an incredible show. And Ryan, if this is the precedent for the rest of 1999, then you Motor Madness fans better be ready. But what's this? Dennis is here in Seattle. find out what happens next on Murder Madness Monster Jam on TNN. So, after the winners of the season opener of 1999, our Murder Madness TV camera crew came back to the beautiful Kingdome in Seattle, this time in March. The USHRA hosted the season finale for the US Off-Road Championship, where their champion was crowned. It was an amazing event, a specially constructed track. And as you can see, here's just a few highlights of one of the races, the final round races with the Pro Stadium trucks. And it was a little bit muddy. I think the track crew put a little bit too much water in the dirt. But man, it was just awesome to see this event unfold. The final Motorsports event. Look at that guy, Ryan. He just flipped over the barrier there. And yeah, it was just amazing event to watch. Look at this guy. He just went all over the place. He hit all the barriers and stuff. It was really fun to watch, Ryan. You know, something different that we're not entirely used to. This would be the last, as we said before, this would be the last Motorsports event ever to be held in the Kingdome, but Dennis Anderson wanted to perform one last freestyle. And we were there following the action, so here is our live reactions from the show. Ryan, they've cleared all of the Pro Stadium trucks and the officials. You know, obviously these Pro Stadium trucks have the officials on the field so they can flip any of them over at any given time. But they've cleared all of that off the track. I have no clue what's going on here, Ryan. Do you know what's... I just don't know what's happening.
I have no clue, but I'm excited.
Is that... No way. No way. Is that... It's Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger number 8. Wow. What a surprise. These Murder Madness Monster Jam fans are getting a show. Wow, look at the
huge air.
And this is just for you Murder Madness Monster Jam fans. He's rolling over those... I don't know what you'd call them, but this is unreal. Dennis, just, you know, amazing competitor. It's amazing to see him out here tonight performing one last freestyle to these Murder Madness Monster Jam fans. And he's lining up. He's trying to get some even bigger air. And he nudges that jersey barrier there. Nicely done. Oh, up on 2 wheels, and what a save!
Yeah!
Wow, unreal performance by Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger, and nudges those little water barriers there, and he just jumped over them. He just drove over them like they were nothing. What a freestyle! And he goes right back for them yet again. He is just making mincemeat of this course. This is a typical Dennis Anderson run. Look at this. He gets caught up once again.
Oh.
Save it! Yes! Wow.
What a save.
This is an absolutely amazing freestyle. He's getting caught up by the barriers and he doesn't care. What a freestyle from Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger number 8. This is the ceremonial destruction of Gravedigger number 8. I think Dennis said that he was going to give Gravedigger number 8 one last ride. And, I mean, I should have been expecting this, but I wasn't. And he's going back for the water barriers. Oh my goodness, he gets
Oh my goodness!
What is happening? What? Dennis Anderson is burning down the Kingdome, and that is going to do it. Wow. What a freestyle.
Or the fact that it's a front flip?
The fans are on their feet. They are screaming. That was an amazing freestyle. Give it up for Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger.
Jackson, tonight's action across the USHRA in Seattle has been truly amazing and historic. I don't think I can handle any more of this controlled chaos.
Neither can I, Ryan. I mean, that freestyle from Dennis Anderson in Seattle at the Off-Road Championships was unreal. Mark Hall's amazing save, busted loose, Tom Mentz, bulldozer, all of that has just been amazing. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching at home. We cannot wait to bring you more coverage from this truly historic season. For Ryan Zielsdorf, I'm Jackson Morris, and we'll see you next time for more Murder Madness Monster Jam here on TNN. Good night, everybody.